welcome Michael Starr to Dancehall Now, episode 8. I'm on. You're a young reggae dancehall artist, and I found out about you earlier this year when I was doing a Bounty Killa mixtape because you had this collaboration with Bounty Killa.
Yes.
And it's called 7 o'clock. And right now, today, you are here to promote your new mixtape that just dropped today, I believe, earlier.
Yes.
And streaming on YouTube. So before we go into all of your projects and so, I would still like to know a little bit about your background. So if you can tell us, you know, where you're born and raised and your like early musical background.
Okay. My name is Michael Starr. I am born in New York. You know, I'm raised in Atlanta, and my ethnicity is Jamaican. So that's where the love of, you know, the sound comes from. It's in me. So, yeah, I've been doing music as an actual artist since the age of 12 years old. I've done musicals and plays since 8, 9 years old. And from there, I just kept on going and just kept on working.
Okay. Yeah. So like when growing up then, like what kind of music were you listening to and like what was your early inspirations into music?
My inspirations were, you know, Michael Jackson, The Temptations, James Brown, more of the beginning, you know what I mean? That's where I really studied my craft, especially when I had to do plays and musicals because we did tribute plays sometimes. Like I'll be Michael Jackson and then we'll act out Thriller or David Ruffin for The Temptations, you know what I mean? And so yeah, and in Atlanta, the scene is really like, you know, turned, you know, party, and that's really, you know, like the dancing and the energy comes from me. You know what I mean? Especially just able to adapt in different, you know, areas, and I'm grateful, you know.
Okay. So you're mentioning a lot of American music then as your, you know, early inspirations.
Yes.
What can you say about like Jamaican music? When did that come into play in your life then?
I think because I grew up around it 24/7. You know what I mean? My mother was born and raised in Jamaica, so is my father.
Yeah.
It's just been around. So, you know, as a kid, you want to listen to different genres of music. So I guess that was, you know, the kid in me. You want to know, you want to hear Michael Jackson, you want to hear Usher, you want to, you know, Chris Brown and you know, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it really spoke to me when I, you know, grew up listening to Garnet Silk, Buju, of course, Bounty. You know what I mean? I feel like Bounty really inspired me to do dubs. You know what I mean? Because I just studied. You know, I just studied and I studied and I studied, and I actually went forward with it. But yeah, growing up with a lot of Garnet Silk, you know, Buju, Bounty, Vibes Cartel is the dancing in me. You know what I mean? So once you want to just freestyle, just bust up some Vibes Cartel and, you know, so forth. And many, many artists. Really can't name them all because it's millions of great artists.
Yeah. Well, you brought up an interesting point because it's usually that when you grow up, you don't really want to listen to your parents' music. Like, you know, you try to find your own identity. But then, as you said, you still have that background. And once you get older, maybe you start appreciating that more and, you know. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you said, you know, you started out very early on in the industry then, but so when did you decide to become an artist? Was that around that same age? You mentioned 12 years old.
Yes, 12 years old. I started out in the genre of pop. My first single was a pop single, and, you know, it was pretty good. It was pretty good starting off like that, just because I wanted to, you know, gain confidence, as you can say. So really that genre just helped me with dancing on stage with singing. if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, when it comes to just like growing and developing, and grew up, and dancehall just came to me. I was like, wow, I should have just started off with what I loved in the first place, you know. But I was timid and I was shy because, you know, your parents listening to you speak patois and all them something that, you know, they'll laugh and joke and all that stuff. So, you know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so now you know you're doing music professionally. Is it your full-time occupation?
Yes, at the time it's my full time. If I have any time, other time I'll record other artists, mix and engineer, and I'll just stay in the
Yeah.
studio most of the time. Yeah, 24 hours in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Is it your own studio or are you working through some other studio?
As of now, I'm working in my studio. I've done the whole mixtape in my studio, written and produced and engineered everything. Um, you know, and usually I'll go to other studios. It just depends on the vibe. It
Mm.
depends on the artist and what we're working towards. I don't really like just jumping studio to studio because you'll kind of get rambled. You know what I mean? Lose focus. But as of right now, we're using my studio and we're just working.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I noticed it said the credits that you mix and master, as you said. So how did you learn about engineering?
I just looked it up because I really didn't want my mom to keep paying for studio time because it was expensive.
Yeah.
So I just went on, I went on YouTube and I learned, and from there I just taught myself.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, and I guess you have to get a lot of equipment. I know at least for mastering, it's a lot about the equipment and like the programs and stuff that you're using, right?
Yeah, because I'm really starting to learn the mastering technique now. I usually go to, you know, one of my producer friends and we'll collab. It's not really just me, but it's a whole team of us, you know, all my friends and my homeboys. And yeah, it's just really a collaboration and just different speakers with mastering, you know, you have to hear from different outputs of speakers, different types, low, high end, stuff like that. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I have noticed that, you know, you've been working or like you're assigned to a label, King Recordings Entertainment. Is that so? Because
As
you have
of
released, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're okay. Yeah, that was my record label at the time. Right now, we're in a space of growth, I would say. So I'm really working on my own stuff while they're focused on their projects. So it's really just that as of now. I did a single with them recently called "Listen." That's out right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
but right now we're
you
working on
still,
our own stuff, and you know, I don't know what the future may hold. And
okay.
yeah,
So now it's like you're gonna start your own label
yeah.
then. All right.
Not really, not really my own label, but just like yes, my own label, but entertainment wise, just not taking it to the extreme because you know you do need a team, and you know you don't want to do everything yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
really just like a collaboration, just a photographer here, doing videos here, recording there, and just you know working off of that.
Okay, so you have those kind of people around you still. Like you said, you can't do everything.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so you also mentioned that you do sometimes mix and master for other artists, or those like local artists, or how does that work? People can contact you for these kind of assignments,
Mm.
or
It depends. It I don't really know because it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It depends if we're focusing on that project itself. I'm willing to, yes, but usually
Mhm.
I'll engineer myself more, um, just because it's one, two, three, four, and really just the timing.
Mhm.
But yes, I'm doing local artists right now as a mixing them and recording with them, writing and just co-writing and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
All right. So yeah, because since we mentioned that King Recordings Entertainment, they were also the label on which your single came out with, Bounty Killa, 7 o'clock, which came out in July of last year. So I would like you to tell me more about how that project came about and so forth, please.
Yes, of course. Shout out to Bounty. I really want to do the music video. I have a crazy idea for the music video. Wicked. A crazy idea for the music video. But yeah, so basically his name is George, you know, the CEO of the label. Him and Bounty have a relationship, and they made it work like there. You know what I mean? I asked Uncle George at the time, you know, am I able to get Bounty? You know what I mean? Just because of the sound, how it sounded, and just me listening to him almost every day when I was working on dubs, you know what I mean? Just studying. So yeah, it was just basically George, Bounty, they made it work, and I sent them to Bounty's team, and I got it probably like in a month or two. It was I'm grateful for that one.
Okay, so how did it work then? You had the rhythm and you voiced first and sent it to him, or, you know, practically, how did it really come about?
The person who redid the rhythm was Ricky Myrie. Ricky Myrie, and yeah, I recorded it at my studio. I recorded my vocals at my studio, and then I sent them to Bounty, and he did his.
Okay. Yeah, that because, you know, one of the reasons why that song is so powerful is because of the rhythm, Declaration of Rights, you know, Abyssinian's rhythm. And you just mentioned, I was gonna ask, and you already said that who rebuilt the rhythm, because you know, I was a little bit wondering, how does that work when are those rhythm copyrighted, and you have to clear it to rebuild? How does that work in real life?
In real life, yeah, that's exactly how it works. It depends on the producer and what that label at the time, whose rhythm it is, what they work with. From what I was told, that he got the clearance. If anything, you know what I mean, is able to just pop up out of the blue, I'm willing to speak to whoever, any label, whatever, and we can just work it out from there, you know what I mean? If there's any miscommunication, you know what I mean, I'm just able to work it out.
Okay. Yeah, because that's like a background now, because you just released a mixtape, which is called, you call it For the Love of Riddims.
Yes.
It features 7 songs on 7 different real big classic rhythms.
Yes.
So can you please now talk a bit more about this project?
Yes, this project means a lot to me because I just want to show my love for my family, friends, just everybody, the people I love, Jaja, you know what I mean? It means a lot to me, just the love of reggae music, you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is just spiritually, even away from the music side, just listening to reggae as itself, you know what I mean? Just the feeling of it. You know what I mean? I had to do it. I had to go in and I had to look at the greats, and I had to really focus, and you know what I mean? And I wanted to give it that vintage sound when it pertains to the sound of it, you know what I mean? Because it is vinyl, you know what I mean? It's really like, it's like vinyl. You'll hear vinyl in the background of the beats and stuff like that. So I just wanted to like just bring it all together, make it sound just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So did you add that, because I noticed that you can hear the vinyl? Is that added on, or
it was actually, it was just in the rhythm, and I just left it in there.
Okay, so how did you get the rhythms then? From, you recorded it off vinyl, or?
No, I got them off YouTube.
Okay, so actually, yeah, because on YouTube there's a lot of people who have recorded vinyl. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. So then how did you go about choosing these particular 7 rhythms that you have on the mixtape?
I just wanted to show people, I'm all in, and this is what I do for a living. You know what I mean? This is what I love to do. I am Michael Starr, and it's just the beginning, because out of these songs, there's many more songs. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to put them all together. I wanted people to get a good body of work, something nice, cool minutes to listen to, and then once I get great feedback, I have more and more and more.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a mixtape. Is it for promotion only?
Yes, promotional use only. You know, until we talk to, you know, the owners of those rhythms. Once I can talk to them, I'll put them out. I'll distribute them. You know, if I'm able to talk to them and we can come to an agreement, I'll really distribute those songs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I noticed then you have 3 Studio One rhythms on it, and those are like from the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, Police and Helicopter, Flex, and Punani are from the 80s, right? And one of the rhythms, Joyride, would be from the 90s, right? Okay, yeah.
Different.
So you see, when I was a bit surprised, you see, when I heard it, because I had it explained to me that this is going to be original dancehall. So in my head, I thought, okay, it's going to be like 90s dancehall rhythms. And, you know, you as a singer, like, imagine, like, you know, when they used to sing Wayne Wonder and those kind of singers on those rhythms back in the 90s. But then I realized, okay, maybe now, and this is very interesting because it's about the definition of the term dancehall. Because when we talk about dancehall as defined as music that was played in the dancehall, which was the definition in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But in the 90s now, dancehall, it became a term for a genre, as we now know the genre dancehall.
Yeah.
What, you know, is that something that you've been thinking about, or how do you see that?
I think about it a lot, you know what I mean? Especially if I'm able to talk to the veterans and get a clearer understanding. But you are right, because yeah, it's probably like what, 2 upbeat dancehall, you would say, you know what I mean, the Punani and the Joyride, and the rest is, you know, lovers rock and all that, you would say, and so yeah, it's really reggae mixed with some dancehall, because whenever you type my name, you'll see some dancehall. But I just wanted to give the, you know, I'm able to do this, and don't forget, I'll pull out this. I'm doing this as well. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to mix it in, not just a full dancehall, because I do have that. I do.
Yeah. That's why I was expecting it, because you see a lot of your, I mean, recent songs would classify as more traditional dancehall, the beat. Yeah, exactly. Listen and turn up and no stress.
Yes.
Those kind of songs. Yeah. Then you see this platform now that I've been doing for some weeks here is I created it to have a focus on trap dancehall. You know, dancehall now, because that is what the most of the younger generation is doing now.
Yes.
In Jamaica, and it completely is dominating in Jamaica and also now in the whole Caribbean.
Right.
And this is what the young generation is into.
Right.
So, you know, then I always ask those guests if they would ever, or if they have ever considered to do traditional dancehall. And a few of them said that, you know, yes, they tried, but it never went nowhere. So now, you know, I have to ask you the reversed question here about trap dancehall. Is that something that you would consider doing, or is that something, I know you did a Skilly Bang remix.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I did a remix. Yes, that is true. Who's Bad? Yep. I have some trap dancehall on my Instagram right now. There is a microphone video I've done when I went on a cruise. just to show
Okay.
that, yeah, just to show that I have those as well. And it's really just, I understand what they're saying, as in they may feel as if it may not go somewhere, but that's not really the goal for me. The goal really is to get better always. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, you want recognition. You want people to listen to it, of course. But when it comes down to performing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to actually sing. I'm gonna have to sing these records. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to feel them. So I'm always gonna do dubs. I'm always gonna do rhythms. Whatever's hot right now, I have it out right now. It's out right now, and that's how I feel. You can hear my dog?
Yeah, I hear the dog
I'm
actually.
sorry. Yeah, he's barking all over the place right now. I can't get him though because he's outside. But yeah,
Okay.
that's basically it. Really, just showing I'm very versatile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be just boxed in. You know what I mean? I'm an entertainer first. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, I love everything, all genres. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So, a lot of young artists nowadays, especially down there from Jamaica and such,
Yeah.
they are very focused on the business aspect of music, which is that, making money and seeing your career as a business and
Yeah.
making sure you take every advantage.
Yeah.
What is your view on that for you personally?
I'm the same way. It really depends because, you know, all business isn't good business, especially when you're forcing the business it's not a business. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, the saying, do not burn bridges is really a great saying. And at the end of the day, it's really just focusing and knowing that, you know, if you're doing a single, I would understand being strict on not wanting to do certain things and, you know, I need money for this, you know what I mean? Please send a money for a dub and stuff like that. You know, if you're really focused on promoting this single because you're putting money into it, you know what I mean? It's really
Mm-hmm.
not cheap to promote, you know, anywhere you
Mm-hmm.
are, whether it's the street or you got to pay a DJ, you have to pay, you know what I mean? So just really that and just knowing that, you know, yes, there's a business side, but also, you know, don't lose yourself, you know, don't lose yourself. Still do the craft because people want to hear
Mm.
it. People want to hear you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on your mixtape now, I mean, do you write all of your own lyrics?
Yeah,
Not just
all
the
those.
mixtape, but in general.
Yes. I write all my music, and if you know somebody wants to help co-write, of course, a lot of people have co-written. You know what I mean, and the same with me. They'll probably write a chorus, and I'll just co-write the first verse and the second verse. You know, but for this mixtape, I wrote everything. I have a few cue points where you'll hear, you know, it's growing, or you'll hear the I'm so in love, and then I'll say that. You know what I mean, and just little pinpoints of the song. I'll say, some known verses, but for the most part, I wrote everything. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, like, topic-wise, I notice you have some girl songs and things like this, love songs, and your topics, where do they come from? Like, what is your inspiration into, what you are singing about?
Um, my environment. I'll say my environment, but I'll also say because I am so locked into the studio, I'm able to be that song. You know what I mean? I'm able to feel at my worst at the moment and make dancing songs. You know what I mean? Most of the dancing songs I probably have out, I probably cried probably 30 minutes before. Who knows? You know what I mean? And, you know, my sad songs, I'm probably happy, but I'm able to know like somebody's going through something. You know what I mean? It can't always be about me all the time, even though it is experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't want to lead astray. So basically that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you're one of those artists who write down lyrics, or do you like freestyle to music? And how does it work when you create lyrics? or build songs?
It depends. If I'm collaborating with a whole bunch of artists, I'll probably write just because there's a lot of noise going on. But if I'm by
Mhm.
myself, I'll just freestyle it, and then I'll keep what's necessary, and it all depends.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know. It all depends. Sometimes you want to write, sometimes you want to freestyle.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I was like, as a young artist now, because there is this current debate, maybe you're familiar with now, about the role of traditional dancehall versus this new form, they call it trap dancehall. And this debate has been going on for some, years now. And what is your view on this as a young artist? I mean, because you are doing traditional dancehall, you did some trap, what can you say about this debate?
So what are they saying exactly? Like, do they think it should be all in one?
Well, no, it is more like some of the more established artists, producers, and such in Jamaica that saying, I guess they are concerned for the future of what they would see as authentic Jamaican dancehall, with its roots in the 90s and early 2000s. Certain types of rhythms and that sound. And now, since trap dancehall came in and like took over, and as I said, the whole generation is completely focused on this and doing this music. And they are saying also that this is not Jamaican music.
Okay.
Because they call it trap. So somehow that this is borrowed from America,
Right.
and that this is a problem. And I've been very involved into this. I had a show called The State of Dancehall that was about this,
Okay.
discussing the whole topic and coming with, all different kind of views on this. So, and that's also the reason why I started this show, to actually for the first time hear what the youths themselves are saying about their own music, and a lot of misconceptions and such being spread about this trap dancehall and
Right.
if you know what I mean. Do you have any view on this?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because it's I it's funny. I feel like it's actually a good thing that it's separated, that it's in its own genre. So it's not in a mix up, if that would make sense. It's like it's like R&B, and then you'll say soul, and then you'll have country soul, or you have country R&B. I feel like trap dancehall is, just what the youth them want to do. At the end of the day, it's really like, I feel like it is a good thing that it is separated, because you don't want people to research one thing and everything is in one. You don't want to research trap. You don't want to research dancehall music, and then you have the crazy songs out there popping up all over the place. You don't want to type in "Lovers Rock Reggae" and then you got. So I think it is good, and I think it is. I think some of the artists should be careful, especially about what they're saying in some of them songs, even though they are expressing themselves, because words do come back. You know what I mean? So I'll just tell all the artists to just, just watch what you say. You know what I mean? And just remember that the youth are watching you, even though some may care or some may not care, but you're in, a public space now. You know what I mean? You're in front of the camera. So,
Yeah.
it is good to, just try to uplift, you know what I mean? And if you're doing your trap dancehall, just, make it good. You just got to make it good.
Yeah.
You just gotta
I
make
mean,
it.
one of the issues about it is that, you know, they are debating now whether or not to even call it dancehall. Because, I mean, in Jamaica
Right.
and around these islands now, all the youths are saying that we are making dancehall. This is a, you know, development of the genre into trap dancehall. But you are more agreeing with the ones that, you know, saying that we should call this a new subgenre
Yeah.
of dancehall. And that would
And
like separate it.
of course, because you know we have hip hop, we have rap, and then we have trap music, and it gives people a direction where they want to go. You know what I mean? And the trap dancehall, you know, some people may overlook it, which I understand. You know what I mean? It's the culture. You don't want to mess with the culture still, and the dance hall, I'm guessing, is coming from the patois, is coming from the language. So I guess that's what makes it, you know, if you do say trap music, that's like putting the United States Atlanta, you know, trap music with their trap music. And some may not
Yeah.
understand, you know, what they're saying, but the Caribbean side will, you know what I mean? And they'll understand dance hall, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't think even if people do not know like the difference, I don't think they'll call like the trap dance hall how they call 90s dance hall, because I haven't really heard it. You know what I mean? It's always been like if it's playing in the clubs, they will play the dance hall, and then they will play the trap dance hall, whatever they want to call it, trap dance hall, you know, something there. Like they'll separate it, you know what I mean? It's not really a mix in unless it's like a dancing song, but that's not really trap, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, different beats. It's different
Yeah, it
sounds.
is. Yeah, that's it. It's a criticism that they usually have that, oh, you can't dance to it.
Right.
But who said that all music has to be dance
That's
music?
true.
Because a lot of this is what maybe some would call meds music. If you think about one of the biggest names is Chronic Law,
Yes, yes,
and you know the whole subgenre within trap dancehall, which is the pain songs,
okay.
that apparently is so relatable to so many youths, because those are one of like the most streamed songs and the biggest part of it. And this is not dance music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just a reflection, because sometimes if you want to compare it to American genres, then that would be more the R&B side of it then, because you know it have those other topics. And you brought up an interesting thing which I also thought about. There is really no much. There is one dance song that I would say in trap dancehall. Squash made a song called Foot, which is a sort of a dance song, but that is not really a topic in trap, because they have their own topics that came with the genre that never existed really in dancehall before, and it's also lacking some of the topics that is more common in traditional dancehall, like love songs.
Right.
Because you yourself, you do that more traditional side, that you would sing like a love song on a dancehall beat, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Yeah. That is true.
Oh.
It's just different feelings. It's just really the environments, and you know, it gets complicated when you know it gets mixed up like that. You know what I mean? It gets really complicated because I feel like the production is different. You know, even with the new sound now, even just the highness of beats, the highness of a song right now, rather than you hear songs, you know, older songs that's still timeless. It's a different vibration. It's a different feeling. You can hear the difference. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, I understand. I love what people are saying though. I love that's the topic. If it should be done, if it should, I like that topic. It's a good topic.
Okay, the only thing has been problematic is that it has been very negative and, you know, very critical of what the youths are doing in a way that it's actually become like a split between the generations, you know, that, you know, it's hard to communicate because the older generation have been bashing the youths in Jamaica. I mean, not so much now because the music is getting more and more success and it's all based around that. But from in the beginning, it was a very harsh, you know, kind of a debate from one side because we have not heard much from the youths themselves really and truly talking about their own music and so they have been more busy creating all of this music in the meanwhile.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, a little bit related to this, you know, you yourself, you are based in the US and like you said, you're describing yourself as a, you know, artist. You do hip hop, R&B, dancehall, reggae, you dance, you act and so. What would you say that, who is your target audience in doing music?
My target audience is always going to be, you know, my culture is always going to be Jamaicans because that's what I am, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I do different genres, yes, but my main and my love will always be dancehall and reggae, you know what I mean? I'm just able to do all the genres, but you don't want to just do all genres all over the place and just keep doing genre. But yeah, it'll always be for my culture, and it'll always be, you know, that. So yeah. I am an entertainer, yes. Act, sing, dance, yes. But when people, you know, say Michael Starr, I want them to remember me always as that. You know what I mean? He represents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. You know, because you know, any dancehall artist who is not based in Jamaica, as yourself, you know, you are faced, you know, you are having a great challenge because that industry in itself is so cutthroat and is so competitive. And I mean, that's even for people who are in Jamaica. So it's even a bigger hurdle for you now, not being there. And, you know, how do you, you know, treat that? You know, how do you take on that challenge?
To be honest, usually I think it's because I have so much family down there that I'm able to always get an update. You know what I mean? What's going on? What's vibing? What's popping right now? I'm able to know, you know what I mean, in like a phone call, quick. And I try my best to go down there as much as I can, you know what I mean? When I'm able to, you know, afford it at the time, or if I have something to do, you know. And so yeah, that's what I try my best because, you know, Atlanta dancehall scene, we have a dancehall scene, but it's a lot of party scenes. It's not really performances, you know what I mean? And so, you know, still trying to, you know, develop that down here. It's a lot of party and a lot of stuff like that when it comes to Caribbean culture, but not enough performances and, you know, stuff like different artists coming together and we're on one rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just going to rhythm. It's not that. So yeah, it's very difficult at the moment, but we fight through it still. And I always, even not being there, that's why I'm myself on the records. You know what I mean? I only can sound like myself at the end of the day. And yeah, it's crazy because it's like, it is difficult. You know what I mean? You made me think right there because yes, it is difficult not being down there physically all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, but we go.
Yeah, exactly, because, you know, it comes to mind really and truly for anybody to make it in and, you know, like break through and become relevant in this dancehall. I mean, I can think of one name, Cranium, in recent time that I actually made it at that. So that is extremely hard because even in Jamaica, you not only have to be from Jamaica, if you're going to be in the industry, you really and truly have to be in Kingston. So
Right.
it's even more centralized. Maybe now also there are other centers for the music, but it used to be like that.
Right.
Very much so.
Right.
And to be relevant to the world in dancehall, like Jamaica, it is very centered around that. But yeah, so you do actually travel there, and do you perform in Jamaica, and like you have a following in Jamaica itself?
At the time, no, I wasn't able to perform. I went studio to studio though. I was staying with my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, yeah, and really when I'm with my grandfather, I'm really not, you know, trying to go all over the place. If that makes sense. I'm really not trying to, you know, go to different party, especially when I'm with my grandfather. But yeah, usually when I'm down there, it's family time, and I take it serious, and I also take the music serious. So you'll see me down there in different studios, and if I am at a party scene, I'm really just looking at the environment. You know what I mean? What's popping right now? What song up the street is hot right now? And I really just study. When I go to the club, I study everything. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned now like you can only sound like yourself, but I mean, yeah, so you are a great singer. You have that voice.
Thank you.
And you sing an amazing, like on that song 7 o'clock, that's an amazing song also. But you do use your voice a lot and make it sound very different. I mean, because you could do this low, you DJ, and so like talking about sounding like yourself, what would you say is more your comfort zone then? Is it the singing? Is it DJing? Is it rapping?
Singing is always in the comfort zone. I started off singing, DJing. I just love to DJ because it's crazy because it's like a different feeling. You know what I mean? You can just say different topics, you know, rather than singing them. You just, you know, cut something, and yeah. So I really have a love for singing. Singing will always be my number one, and I love dancing. So I think because once you'll hear some of the dubs them, and you'll hear some of the twang, it's really because I'm thinking of a dance move and it matches it. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Yeah. I noticed in your music videos that you do the dancing. Like I see, you know, some Michael Jackson moves in there. Like I said, that was an early inspiration for you.
Yeah. I'll throw in some MJ moves in there always. Gotta throw in some MJ moves and my Michael Starr moves, of course. It's always gonna be Michael Starr moves. And just vibing with the music. Dancehall is very special to me because I'm able to be myself on that stage. You know what I mean? If you ever catch me standing still singing, more likely it'll be probably with Bondsman, or it'll usually be just like if I'm around singers and all that, we'll just stand still and sing. But usually if I'm on the stage, I'm moving this way, everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you actually think about that when you create the songs that you would be able to sing as you're dancing then?
Yeah, that's how I usually record my records. I usually go based off of movement. So if I know that during this part of the song I might move a lot, I can hit that note, but save that note for a different part of the song. You know what I mean? You have to be smart. It's like, I don't know, it's like, you know, it's like a professor, you know what I mean? You just gotta do your homework, and I just basically I just go based off knowing I'm going to perform this, or I know I am going to sing this live. You have to either sing the song straight through and just add a couple little ad-libs here and there, or, you know, just know you're gonna dance. So yeah.
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 Okay, so you know you use maybe people in your music videos. Do you do the choreography and you know you have dancers there, or you know how does that usually work?
Usually, um, 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 Harley, she does the choreographies for me. She did ton up.
Oh,
Yeah, she did ton up. She did striker pose. She did she did many things. She's amazing. I appreciate her so much. Shows, most of the shows you see on my page, she choreographed them. So shout out to Harley. You know what I mean? So yeah, basically, and choreograph. Usually I freestyle. If you ever see me dancing, it's really not, you know, like the same set each time I'm performing. It'll be a different
mm-hmm.
move. This verse I'll do this move, or this verse I'll do that move. You know what I mean? It's just based off the feeling.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, I've seen you did a lot of stage show performance then.
Hmm.
You have you know experience in that, maybe from even an early age.
Oh, what? Stage show?
Yeah, like performing. You said you did perform in acting and such, but I mean music-wise now, doing concerts
Yeah.
and singing, because that too is a thing, a topic in this whole debate about the youths now,
Hmm.
about you know the stage performance part of it.
Hmm.
Would you say that it comes with experience, or do you also say that you should practice this craft before, you know, become big and have to go on stage? How do you view that?
I think it's a little of both because even if you practice before you reach the stage, you never know what may happen on that stage. So I feel like you have to perform and you have to look at some of the footage you've done. You have to look. It's like sports. Look at the
Hmm.
footage. You know what I mean? That's the only way. You know what I mean? Um, and some artists, may not like to see themselves. You never know. They might not like to see footage, or they might not like to hear themselves on stage or see themselves back on stage. But, don't have no yes man in your crew. You can't have no type of yes man in your crew. And you have to, you know, put your all into that. You know what I mean? You
Mm.
never know what may happen on that stage. So I feel like the best thing is just give it your all and just know, I may should have never said that right there. Okay, them never mess with it this way. Okay, the next way I'm gonna put this song at this time. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
yeah, I felt that way because when I opened up for Barris, there was it was like it was a learning experience because the first time I performed for Barris, it was it was in Atlanta, Georgia, and
Mm.
I forgot what area it was in. It was somewhere, I forgot what area, but the first time I did that performance, I was doing cover songs. So I would do like the Temptations and such and like that. And I noticed, okay, they love the vibe. But I noticed when I started dancing, but that was you know, towards kind of the end of the performance, I'm like, I should have been myself the whole time.
Oh,
So the next time,
okay.
so the next time I performed for Barris, I went I went all out and I did my dancing with my music, and you'll see the audience vibing with me, and it was a different feeling. You know what I mean? So yeah. So to all the artists, just practice, man. Practice. You have to every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I don't usually interact or anything with these comments, but I just saw somebody asking a question. I'm sure you answered it in the beginning of the interview. What or who inspires you?
Yes. My mother inspires me every day. I love my mother. She does everything for me. And the times when I'm down, the times where I feel like, I've 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 been doing this music thing for so long, and you know, you'll get discouraged, or you'll feel down and out, and she'll always uplift me. You know what I mean? my auntie, Auntie Mo, and my family, my close family, my close friends, just everybody. There's a handful of people, you know what I mean? It's hard to name them all, but you know what I mean? There she goes in the comments. Yeah, man. Shout out DJ Diamonds, man. But yeah. So yeah, family, friends inspire me. The music inspires me. I feel like hearing certain songs, even though they might not speak to me, I might listen to the song because I want to know why people are listening to it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I really, you know, I get inspired by, okay, they messing with this sound. This is a different sound. Or they mess with this sound. They mess with this artist. Oh, really? And it's really just, you know, I see artists work and I see them make it, and I see my friends where I grew up with make it in the industry, and everything is an inspiration. You know what I mean? Life, my Lord and Savior, inspiration every day. You feel me? Without God, I wouldn't be able to even have the strength or the belief most of the time to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But I'll never stop. And we're here for a long run.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a very, you know, great answer to that question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so, you know, now I would like you to tell people where they can find you know, like which social media platforms are you active on, and where can they find your music for streaming and buying and those kind of things.
All right, so for right now, for the love of rhythms, you can find it on YouTube, Audio Mac, and about probably after this interview, I'm gonna go straight to Audio Mac. It's going on Audio Mac, SoundCloud, and so yeah, YouTube, Audio Mac, SoundCloud, because it's, you know, non-profit. No profits are being made. You know what I mean? This is just for the culture. This is just to show, you know, artists moving around, really. You know what I mean? So yeah, non-profit. Those social media platforms, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. Sometimes we'll be on TikTok, on Michael Star. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'll stream like FIFA, you know, with my friends then. Sometimes we'll play like FIFA and just stream the game, and then you'll have some rhythms in the background while we're playing. Yeah, so just Michael Star everything. Any social media site, Michael Star. And 7 o'clock feature on Bounty Killa. Always.
Yes, and like you said, you actually want to make a video for that song.
Yeah, I want to make a music video quick. I have the idea already, and I know it'll woo, I don't even know. It'll change. Everything will change, man. But well, you know, whenever he's available, whenever, you know, Bounty has the time, you know, if we're you know, ever able to do the music video, I'd be grateful, you know. So
yeah, I mean, you would if you would have the possibility to travel down there,
yeah,
maybe it could happen.
I'm in Kingston every year.
Oh, okay.
Every year, yeah, every year. I try to go every year. Most of the time, it just depends on whoever is busy. Whoever family member is busy, and you can't go to them house at the time, we'll stay here. But most of the time, we'll just link grandpa, my aunties, and all that. And my father, I don't know if he's down there or not, I don't even know. But yeah.
All right, you know, this interview, I don't want to surpass 1 hour because this interview will be uploaded on my YouTube channel on Monday. So people can look out for that. But with that being said, you know, the final question now is, any future plans, any projects in the making? Like, what's your, you know, outlook for your near future?
For the near future, I want to be one of the greatest dancehall reggae entertainers there were, and that's the reason I say one of, because there's many. You know what I mean? There's many legends. There's many great artists. Sometimes you can't even count, because half of them haven't even made it to the mainstream. They just have dope place out on the street with Wicked and they bud. You know what I mean? So I want to be one of the greatest. Yeah. I want to be one of the greatest, and I'm willing to work for whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for everybody who supports me. You know what I mean? All my family. And yeah, so next year you'll get, I'm gonna say a few projects, a few more projects, a few more dub projects, videos of course, and some more acting. I want to get into independent films and work with directors, you know, starting next year. So we working next year.
Yeah. Okay. So you have any collabs, other collabs that you have planned or would like to make happen?
Yeah, but I don't want to say it right now. Definitely in the works, and it's crazy, because it's like, for me to be able to get the Bounty feature, it helped me so much as an artist, and the artist in me starting off like, yo, you accomplished so much, you know what I mean? And I'm very grateful. And so when it comes to the collabs and stuff like that, many more legendary artists, many more new upcoming artists, many more artists, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So come on, shout out to everybody, man. Well, good, man.
Yeah. And like you said, then that's your aim, to become one of the greatest, because, it's a very competitive industry, and it's not always the most talented.
Right.
That, it's not only depending on talent, like if you get a break or not, but it's all about putting in the work.
That's true.
And putting out the music, and especially in this day and age. They actually give advice to put out as much music as possible, because you never know with the internet and with streaming and all of these things what can hit and become a hit. And once you get that one hit, that can be what changes everything.
Right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, well, so I would like to say all my best wishes for your future career, and, keep working hard, and everybody look out for the mixtape on YouTube. And as you said, it's coming up on SoundCloud and Audiomack.
Yes.
And to get familiar with Michael Starr. And this interview will also end up on YouTube by Monday, I would guess. Sometime I will announce it on my Instagram.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Michael. Thank you so much for doing this interview. And as I said, big up yourself, and all the best for your future and career.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Shout out DJ Everlina. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, for just listening to the project and I'm able to have a voice, you know what I mean? So thank you so much, and thank you to everybody in the comments right now. Yeah, man.
Yeah, big up everybody, because I usually don't focus on them. But yeah, big up to everybody, and like I sometimes say, salute, and we're out. Thank you.
Bye.